Good morning and welcome to a regular meeting of a panel of utility commissioners and staff of the Public Utilities Regulatory Authority held today, Wednesday, January 29th, 2025 at 9 a.m. by remote teleconference. My name is Chairman Marissa Gillette. I'm joined virtually today by my colleagues, Commissioners David Arconti and Michael Karen. We have a regular calendar and a consent calendar in front of us today. The first item on today's regular calendar is docket number 220104. Bureau annual review of the rate adjustment mechanisms of the United Illuminating Company. We have a remand decision in front of us, and I'll turn to Authority Staff Attorney Jim Riley to present the decision for the panel's consideration, please.
Good morning, Chairman Gillette, and thank you, Commissioners. This decision addresses a remand order from the Superior Court regarding the Authority's August 17th, 2022 decision in docket number 220104 by articulating the Authority's interpretation of the statutory terms actual distribution revenues and allowed distribution revenues used in General Statute Section 1619 TT and applying the terms to the evidentiary record in this proceeding. Specifically, the United Illuminating Company's calculation of the rate adjustment under the Revenue Decoupling Mechanism, or RDM for short, for 2022. After applying the articulated definition of the statutory terms to the company's 2022 RDM calculation, this decision affirms the Authority's determination from the August 17, 2022 decision that the exclusion of $5,058,302 in other operating revenues and $692,112 in unbilled revenues from the company's 2022 RDM calculation is inconsistent with General Statute 1619 TT and the established RDM. As part of its annual rate adjustment mechanism proceeding, the Authority examines the company's RDM calculation by comparing the company's actual distribution revenues to its allowed distribution revenues and orders an adjustment to the RDM rate to reflect any over or under recovery captured in the RDM pursuant to General Statute 1619 TT. The terms actual distribution revenues and allowed distribution revenues are not defined by statute, and as such, the Authority applied the plain meaning rule articulated in General Statutes 1-2Z and, more specifically, interpreted the operative statutory terms within the context of Title 16 of the General Statutes, particularly those statutes applicable to rate proceedings, such as General Statutes Sections 1619 and 1619E. The Authority also relied on its accounting experience and subject matter expertise, as well as the Authority's and the company's historical treatment of the RDM to discern the meaning of the operative terms. Using these tools, the Authority defined allowed distribution revenues to refer to the company's annual revenue requirement as approved by the Authority in its most recent distribution rate case pursuant to General Statute 1619 subsection A, and actual distribution revenues as all revenues realized during the course of the company's distribution business in a calendar year, with the exception that revenues accounted for or reconciled through another established mechanism are excluded from the RDM. The decision subsequently applied the Authority's articulated definitions to the company's 2022 RDM calculation, focusing on several categories of revenues that the company excluded from its calculation, and as well as unbilled revenues. In short, the decision determined that the company did not demonstrate that the certain excluded revenues at issue are not actual distribution revenues and are therefore not subject to the RDM calculation. Similarly, the decision concluded that unbilled revenues are actual distribution revenues within General Statute 1619 TT, and that the company cannot exclude such revenues from its RDM calculation. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Attorney Riley. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I move adoption.
Thank you. And a second?
Second.
Thank you. The decision has been regularly moved and seconded. If there are any comments, not, I will ask Mr. Bumpin to please take the roll.
Commissioner Karen,
Yes.
Commissioner Arconti,
Yes.
Chairman Gillette.
Yes, thank you. The decision has been adopted. Turn next to docket number 23-1227, PURA's investigation into stray voltage pursuant to Section 29 of Public Act 23102. We'll turn to Authority staff, Mark Benedetti, to present the decision for the panel's consideration, please.
Thank you, Chairman Gillette. Good morning, Commissioners. Public Act 23102, Section 29 directed the authority to conduct a proceeding to examine occurrences of stray voltage in the state and make recommendations for detecting, mitigating, and preventing stray voltage. Relatedly, the authority has history with investigating stray voltage. In 1995, the authority conducted a proceeding which focused on stray voltage issues taking place on Connecticut dairy farms. This 1995 decision included requirements for EDCs to develop educational materials to better inform farmers about the phenomenon. The decision before the commissioners investigates occurrences of stray voltage in Connecticut, the difference between stray and contact voltage, examines the risk that both poses to livestock and the general public, and discusses common industrial standards that should be used to prevent, detect, and mitigate stray and contact voltage to safe levels. The industrial standards IEEE 1695, as well as the National Electric Code and National Electric Safety Code, should be used for the safe detection, mitigation, and prevention of stray voltage and contact voltage. Therefore, this decision directs the EDCs to comply with these standards to resolve stray voltage and contact voltage issues. Additionally, the decision orders EDCs to keep records related to stray voltage issues on livestock farms, in the same manner as written in the IEEE 1695 standard, and make these records available by request to the interested parties listed in the decision. This will ensure that the EDCs are properly documenting stray voltage investigations so that there is a better understanding of the scope of this issue in Connecticut for the future. So that Connecticut farms are better able to understand stray voltage and thus be a partner with EDCs in dealing with this issue. This decision orders that EDCs in Connecticut develop educational material that is available to farmers who may be concerned about stray voltage and submit these materials for authority review later this year. This material should be available for livestock farms, and that farm should know that that resource is available to it. The decision finds these orders to be sufficient to manage the phenomenon of stray voltage in Connecticut. Authority staff recommends that the commissioners adopt this decision. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I move adoption.
Second.
Thank you. The decision has been regularly moved and seconded. If there are no comments, I will ask Mr. Bumpin to please take the roll.
Commissioner Karen,
Yes.
Commissioner Arconti,
Yes.
Chairman Gillette,
Yes, thank you. The decision has been adopted. We'll turn next to the consent calendar on which there are 3 items, and I will seek a motion, please.
Madam Chairman, I move today's consent calendar, items 1, 2, and 3.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. The consent calendar has been regularly moved and seconded. Mr. Bumpin, please take the roll.
Commissioner Karen,
Yes.
Commissioner Arconti,
Yes.
Chairman Gillette.
Yes, thank you. The consent calendar has been adopted in full. That brings us to the end of today's regular meeting agenda. We will adjourn and reconvene for our next regular meeting next Wednesday, February 5th at 9 a.m. by remote teleconference. Thank you. Have a great day.